Hi guys, LeanMachine-Painting here, part 3 of our Orc Dread assembly. We hit a bump in the road. The hip joints that I put in, I actually put the wrong side round because the instructions are rubbish, and that's what I'm blaming it on, not on me at all, completely purely on that. But yeah, they are a bit pants. So basically it looked like I had this around the wrong way. So that one goes that side, which I had on the wrong side. It's just that the stance, when I on the end of the last video, the stance wasn't looking right, and I was thinking in my head, it's something quite right here. So now, actually I should have just dry fit, but I'm whacking the glue and it's straight back in. I haven't glued that side in yet, so that's okay. So yeah, this is just one of those sit and talk paint jobs. It could be an hour long, so it's a long video potentially. So just sit, watch, paint, rant, chat, see where we go. So let's dry fit again. This is where dry fitting comes into its own. Wax super glue down and everything because I thought I had the job done. I was gluing the feet on and then it all just kind of didn't look right, so it's better, so it's going to be like that. Okay, yeah, let's glue these in. It's probably the second time round it's not going to be so great. It's not going to fit in as solid because those, I had a bit of a nightmare getting them. If you watch the previous video, you see one of the hip joints just kind of almost clipped in itself. The other one needed a little bit more work, but that one that just clipped straight in, that was tough to get back off. I just put it under a bit of warm water, not enough to soften the resin, but enough to give me enough to be able to pry it off. So this time I'm just going to roughen this up a bit. Give it something to grip. This time round it just done what we really want to go in there this time, so easy. See, so we'll get the pins going. This is now kind of a dry stroke wet fit session to see that about the stance, because the stance, the feet were kind of more turning in. There's my bits here, and it just didn't look right. What's that way? I think. Yeah, it just didn't look quite right. Where's the other pin? Now that's a better looking stance. Once, if I actually do get it glued properly, that's a better looking stance. The feet pointing a bit more out than in. Right, so I know that works now. So now let's just get these hip joints to actually go in, because they're not wanting to. We might have to score it up a bit. What's that white stuff? What's that come from? What the hell is that? I don't know if you can see that. There's some weird white stuff on here. Score the hell out of that. So now, because this isn't so clean in here, there's I think that's water, that white stuff is reacted because I put it under the water's got in there. Now there's some dirty super glue in there. Just score it up. I can feel that gripping already a bit. I'll just leave that now. So it's going to be a bit weaker than the first time. It's always weaker than the very first time doing it, unfortunately. Well, that's one of the things. At the end of the day, worst comes to worst, if this snaps off at any point and comes apart, I'll just pin it. There's plenty of resin and bits there for me to get a pin out. Could even do it all the way through for both legs, but getting that lined up might be a bit of a pain. This one here is actually solid. I think it's... I'll just leave it, that might be fine. So, now, this gun isn't gluing either, so the blue tack didn't work. So let's get the blue tack off. Hopefully it's not stuck to the glue, which is always a bit of a hazard. If you watch the previous ones, you see I did what I was doing here. Basically having a bit of trouble getting this gun to go on. Now I've got two options. I can pin it or I can magnetise it. There's no need to magnetise as such because you don't get weapon destroyed as far as I'm aware anymore in 8th edition. Which is what the reason why I used to pin all my weapons. I could pin it for the sake if I could ever use this and convert rules to 30k, I guess, if they don't change those rules. That's my air compressor going off. So a bit of blue tack did get in here. I just want to get that out. Did get a bit on the super glue, but the super glue's not reacted, it's just stayed watery. Again, if you watch the previous one, I think it's hot. You can probably hear the fan blowing in the background. It's just so hot here. It's just, suddenly it became almost like it was about to have a thunderstorm, but the sun started to come back out again. So it went grey like it was going to thunderstorm. Suddenly the temperature ramped right up outside around midday, 1 o'clock ish, between 12 and 2, half 2. It got really kind of muggy. It's just sweaty, hot, clammy, and I think due to that the super glue suddenly started to play up on me. So it's just stringy. You can still see it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's just like stringy. It's just not, it's not dried even. It's acting more like a plastic glue. Score it up a bit and see, but it's such a small surface to score up. Let's give it a go. Now the temperature's kind of still hot but eased off a little bit. And suddenly I've got the whole body, all over body sweat going. Let's get the blue tack to hold it into place so I don't have to sit here for 20 minutes holding it. So I'll leave that on the side. We're going to put the other barrel straight away, but because that one's not glued, we're going to leave that a sec. See how this, it's still a bit wobbly, but it's almost done. It's okay in there. So what I'm going to do, whilst I was going to do this other gun breech on the other side, we'll save that for the second. I need to drill holes and magnetise this for the weapon choices options. We'll do that when we assemble the weapons. And what we probably could do, to be fair, is probably get some of the weapons out, start assembly of that, to be fair, and then we can prime everything all at once. We'll come back to that, these other bits here, before we throw down some paint. So get all that out of the way, and let's get one of the weapons out. So whatever one's closest, this is the Ripper Claw. Done a preview on it on a previous video if you want to check that out. Kind of my videos, I guess it would be easier, better maybe to watch in sequence and follow the path, follow the story, follow the progression of the orc horde. Okay, there's less bits, so hopefully less drama, we hope. So let's get these off the sprues first. So what's your guys' favourite model? I think mine's a Leviathan at the minute. Certainly for one of the ones that I've bought, I thought the Leviathan is just a lovely looking model. It's nice to paint, easy to magnetise, just an all round pleasure. I've got two, one for me wood bears, one for me Imperial Fists. But these Orc models are fast becoming, once I've probably get the paint done on these very possibly could overtake, particularly if this one comes out and it looks right, if I like the stance and everything. Yeah, this will probably win my heart. I don't know what these bits are. See, again, your instructions is just nigh on non-existent. It's one piece of paper, unless there's a bit of paper I've... No, you can't see another bit. Literally one piece. So wrist, okay, that's what I was just wondering what these two bits are here. So that's the wrist. Number 10 is the shoulder pivot. So you can pose these a bit, so let's get these off anyway. There's obviously a lot of models out there. I don't think I'll be struggle to find a normal Games Workshop model for me that would ever surpass a Forge World model. It's been a favourite model just because of the design. I mean, I'm loving the look at the moment of the new Magnus Forge World that came out. It's been out for a little bit now. I'm now sat here in the beginning of July 2017, and I'm going to Forge World on the 1st of August. And I don't know if I want to... See, the thing is, if you watch my previous videos, I don't know. I've got a few armies on the go now. I've got my word bearers, which I just need to start getting some vehicles for, really, and start getting some of the extra weapon options. What I'm doing is these got some holes in here, so but they're full of resin. I'm guessing I'm going to need them, so I'm just getting a little bit of the resin out. Yeah, so I've got my word bearers, which I need. I've got all the character models. I've got like the I forgot what they're called, like the mutated ones you'd use. Golvorback, something like that. And I've got the Ashen Circle Jump Troops. I've got 5 of them, so I'll probably end up at a point getting more of them. I don't have the 2 demon models. I have a Leviathan for them. I've got just started painting a Razorback for them, which I can use as a Rhino as well, because I'll have the top that I can interchange. Then I've got Imperial Fist, quite a large Imperial Fist army, which still needs a lot of work doing to it paint wise. I've got vehicles for that, and a flyer and Forge World flyer and whatnot. And then I've got my orcs, so I've got pretty much the majority of the orcs that I'd need. It's just a few little bits on the side. So, I mean, my dream was always to have, I don't know, I've just always been something about the Death Guard of McCrag, I think it's called that, or Death Core Crag, or whatever they're called. See, I'm not buff for this, you all know better than me. Or I quite now like the look of the Heretics, because then what I can do is I can work them into, with the Heretics I can build up a bit of a contingent of Nurgle, and have then sort of like a Space Marine stroke Imperial Guard, but in the form of Chaos. So I can get some of the other Chaos things like the Brass Scorpion and I don't know, some of the other little models that are going to be quite fun, like the little almost spider looking ones that have like a grappling hook or whatever, I don't know. Or before doing that I could go down the route of do I need these pipe bits? I don't think so. No. I could go down the route of the Death Corps, and I can put, you know, like Imperial Knights and stuff into it, and link it into my Space Marines and Imperial Fists. But the Thousand Suns models that are coming out do look very tempting, particularly the Primarch, the Dreadnoughts. I think they're bringing out some new Terminator type models for him. They look quite cool. So yeah, I've got it's the 9th of July of me filming this. Doesn't mean that's when I'm going to put up. I don't know when this video will go up. So I've got from now to the 1st of August to think. Now, do I get a super heavy for one of my existing armies, like my Imperial Fists, or maybe for my word bearers? Maybe I get a knight for my word bearers, or do I get both? Or do I go for something new? Maybe I'll an Ox custom stomper. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. See, this is my dilemma. You start getting into the trap of too much at once. Whereas you need to focus. Plus, my brothers are not going to have 30k. These are the two that I play against most. They're not going to have 30k armies. Well, one of my brothers is he's getting the Forge World, what they call Mechanicus type army. Which I quite like them as well. I would like to have them as a detachment, but it's just all too much, isn't it? It's a trap, that's the problem. Too much nice, gleaming stuff. Okay, so that's the main arm part. That's the shoulder pads, that's the shoulder pivot, that's the wrist, that's the part where the magnet's going to go. So I'm probably going to have to cut that down and then drill it out. These are just pistons again. Hopefully they're not going to be causing me as much confusion as on the feet. And then these are the blades, so I'm going to take these off. So I need to 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll probably be able to work this out. Claw 1, 2, 3. Claw 1, claw 2. So yeah, those holes were important in a way, but there's not much of an actual part there to actually go into the hole, so which was not too much of a concern. But I think I can glue these on, to be fair. Just snapped off. I didn't even need to cut the big part off. So that's just the big blade. So this is number claw 3. A bit of a line down there, which is a shame because there's some ridged effect on here. So I'm kind of going to go in and like snap it out like that to trying to keep a bit of a ridge. Give it some texture. Rather than just a flat surface and going that way. And there's just a bit of a seam down here, because this will really show up then in the paint when you paint it. That's when it will really start looking a bit shabby. So then I'm just going to notch it. Notches. Okay, so that's the thumb, so that's the single one that goes down around the bottom, like that. So let's glue that in. So it looks like I can get a bit more manipulation of the positioning of this because it actually says it in the word pivot. So let's make sure I got the right one. That's the big one, yeah. So I can get a pose, hopefully, out of this. I've got to make sure this is straight again because the glue is probably going to take a while to take. I really need that reactor spray. Oh, it's just going to be a pain. Let me make sure it's straight. Just keep that there for a minute. So then this part goes into the back of that part, I believe, like that. Check in a minute. So we can get kind of turn effect if I magnetise it. And then we got this pivot to work out. I don't know if I'll magnetise it or not. I'll probably find the pose on the model. What I'll probably do first is we get this magnetised. I wish I could just let go of this so I could crack on. Oh, I think I can. There you go. I'm going to leave that there before I put the other two claws on because I really want that to set. So just leave that to the side a second. Alright, I don't want to get these pistons mixed up, so I'll leave them there. Actually, I could probably put the pistons on by the look of it. Let's do the pistons and get them out of the way. So, piston 3 goes piston 3 goes somewhere. Oh, piston 3 connects to this as well. So maybe I can't get so much of a manipulation. I can do it that way, but maybe not that way so much, because there's going to be pistons which are going to be holding it at a specific position. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be roughly around sort of that position fixed because of the pistons. Okay, well, it is what it is. So I need piston, shoulder pivot, piston 3, which is number 8, which is that one, not the longest one, this one. Nope, the big one's snapped off anyway. Make sure you leave that little nubule bit on the, because if you check on there, that does stay on there. So it goes like, because that's going to be a glue point, that little nubule bit. Is that the right word? Nubule? Doesn't sound right. Knob. Knob. So that goes there like that. Let's dry fit this so we don't make sure we mess it up. This big one automatically looks like it goes across the long breech there, from there to there, and on the back of the forearm. And then you've got one more piston. No, you haven't. You've got 2 bits. Okay, so that little bit goes. Oh, it doesn't reach. So that's got to come. That's not going to be long enough. Piston 2. 7. Piston 2, yeah. Doesn't look like it's going to reach. But piston 1. Get these little bits off. Piston 1 goes in there. Goes down in there. Let's just glue that bit in a sec. Okay, that's quite a... Oh, I see, so that goes up to there, that goes down to there. Doesn't, again, quite reach it. But if we push there, so that's that middle, in the fold of the arm, in the elbow, fold of the elbow, on the inside. That goes there. So then, we can do this long bar at the back, because that's not attached to anything else. Put some glue in there, put some glue in there. So clip in there. Okay, that doesn't want to fit so easy. Find some fingers here. Look. Why do you not want to clip in there? Just leave you like that. Might just have to hold that bit down a bit. If I had a plastic band here, I could pull that in, but I don't have one close by. I don't think so. I did see a little red one here somewhere. I can't be bothered to look for that. Right, so hopefully that will stay there if I just put that like that gently. So then we got this little one. Oh, okay, that's going to attach to this. So that's the top and that's the bottom, so that will go in there like that. And then oh, your pain. I don't want to overload with the glue, but I'm just going to put a little bit. What I'm going to have to do again, I think, is just leave that part there to stick. I'll just put it to the side and I have to put those pistons on with that part. But what I can do in the meantime is, now this is where I had a problem before with the glue yesterday. I don't know whether it's because it needs a clean and there's like releasing agent there stopping it, but gluing this part into here was an issue. Do I need to get that bit off there? So I can't wait to get these orcs done. It's going to be a long process though. I think I can't wait to just start painting them really. I've got so many models to put together. I've put together one of my flyers as one of the bombers. I'm going to have two set up as bombers and one as the Wazdaka jet, whatever it's called. Right, so how does this go in here? So it goes over this side. Goes over here. So I think I'm going to have a nightmare. See, this is just doesn't make any sense where it actually goes into in here. Just really no rhyme or reason to it. Okay, let's not worry about that. Let's do the magnet. So if I have this arm as a it'll have to go that way, wouldn't it? If I have it as a, should I have it as left arm or right arm? What side's that? Yeah, let's have it on that side. I normally have my close combat weapons all on the same arm. But I'm magnetising actually, so it won't matter But I guess it will though because of where that goes. So whether the shoulder, you see what I mean, the shoulder's close in, so I have to work out. I've got two close combat weapons. Actually, I want this on this other side and the other one. Okay, so if I put that, can it go either side? Does it have to go that side? They've got it that way. Okay, they've got it like that on that arm. But could I just swap it round? I guess I could. It doesn't matter. It's just the top's facing different, isn't it? And it can go in that side, either side. So let's drill some holes. Now I'm going to do a little small hole first. There's going to be more dust and more buzzing. So sorry about the noise. I'm going to make centre point about there. Check to see if that is the centre point. Yep, and the other side. There. Yeah. Pilot hole. You should really wear a mask while you're doing this. Let me just throw my mask on. So this is my mask. One of these. So bear with me when I throw this on. I'm going to talk like Darth Vader.
So I got my mask. I got my mask on. You see, so I can't really talk. But I'm making a mess, and I'm trying to get because the drill bit's too small for the size of magnet I want. So I'm trying to trying to just basically just large in the circle, but keep it as center as possible. I'm not going in any further, I'm just going around and making the circle bigger until these fit in. Okay, let's go again. Almost there. But that's gone in quite far already before when I first did it, but you get to a point you can just finish it off with a knife. It's almost there, it's almost gone in. Oh, let's get my dust brush. So you can see the hole, but I don't. I hate messes. So this is the size of magnet I'm going for. It could go bigger, but I snapped my drill bit. Almost in. Let's just give it one more little drill and just get it a bit bigger. Get the airbrush and just they're in there. It's actually too deep. Two, as in two, not gone in too far, but it's 2 magnets deep. So sometimes, let's just take this mask off.
Sometimes I like to go 2 magnets deep, so it just gets that. It feels like there's more pull. I don't know if it works that way. I did actually see someone say that before in the past, that the more magnets you stack them up, the more stronger it's going to be. I don't know, but sometimes it's just a case that you have to drill that far in to get the hole to get bigger. So it's going to be plain now for 2. So what I need to do is now get it on the ball of the socket. I need to cut that down and drill that in, or I might just go straight for a drill straight in. Let's have a look. Let's give it a go.
Got danger of this slipping. Just trying to find the middle point.
Okay, so that's one side. Obviously I've got to do the other side. But let's just do one now. I'll do the other side off camera probably, because that's just taking a long time to do. But you can see the dust. It probably would have been better if I moved all my model off. But the dust is crazy. The dust is real. Let's get all this off. When you come to your painting, you don't want this getting all caught up into your paint job. I'm covered in it. Jeez. Get my airbrush out. Actually got some cleaning fluid in the airbrush at the moment. I spilled a bit just now when I got it out to blow. Just hoover it off my main thing, and then when I'm doing my room out, I'll gonna clear my desk completely off, and then all this will all get all cleared up properly. But for now, let's just get it out of the way. The majority of all that. Whew, man, it's everywhere. Many uses of the airbrush. Okay, that's the majority of it. Okay, so as you see, I've gone pretty much 2 magnets deep on this one as well. It's just probably actually just almost 3, but I can put a bit of green stuff in the bottom as well, and I can scoop that off, and that'll be 2. So that's that bit. So that will go in. So if I do like a little demo, if I do that in there, I'll scoop them off in there, which is a bit more tricky to do. You probably just need to actually take the 2 off and slide them in like that. So that will go in pretty much flush into there. You'll have those ones on there, and then they'll go in like that. So then you've got actually a bit of pivoting as well that you can do. So I probably will put some green stuff. Let's see if this will be flush and it's got enough room for green stuff underneath. If that recesses back in a bit further, that's what we want. Push that in. It's got the tiniest amount of green stuff spacing that I could get in there. So that's good. So that's that side. Right, so moving forward then, let's get my drill off my lap, because that's actually heated up a bit. It's a bit warm in this hot weather. Brush off some of that. So, now I'm going to get me polar, I always do it this, I don't know, maybe I'm an OCD about this, but, so I get another model, take that off, get my polarities now, so that will go into that, that's what will go into the body. It will go in that way into the body, so that will go into there in that way. So if I find some green stuff amongst all my other, here's my green stuff. This is where your organisation skills fail you. Where's that to? Green stuff. This is another reason why I'm pulling my room out. Get everything a bit better organised. So there's some green stuff. This is just Games Workshop's green stuff. Probably not the cheapest way to get it, but I only need the tiniest a bit. So everyone's aware of this, as you know. Got your yellow and blue, so I only need just a smidge of this. Doesn't matter if I make too much, I'll just throw it away. Okay, so I just mix them together. Let's get it to be green. Get him out of the way. plugs in because I'm listening to stuff on the tubes, YouTubes. Still got Next Level Painting. That guy's awesome. I do like him. Funny. Does a great paint job. I mean, he puts so much back into the community. There's my mobile. He's messaging me. Email. Okay. So this is what I do sometimes. I do put a bit of green stuff in and super glue the magnets in. So get a tiny bit, probably less than that. So you can see what a small amount this is. It's only that. And what I do is pop that in there as a little ball, and then when I push the magnets into it, it will flatten out. So then get my magnets. So it's going in that way. Get my 2 magnets because I want it too deep, and try and get that ball close to the middle. Oh, see, now I've dropped them. Right, let's do it again. No, wrong. No, good job I checked, because I would have taken it off and put it back in the wrong way. Then off that way. Another way is put a dot of paint on the side you want going in case you have these issues. So let's go in like that. And then what I do is I get the end of my paintbrush and I just push that down into there. But sometimes what I do, actually I should have put a bit of glue in there before. Yeah, I should have done that. Get them back out. Got that ball there anyway, so I know which end to put in. Let's just drop a bit of super glue in there. Let's go again. Let's get our 2. We could pop a bit of super glue between the 2, but I'm hoping the super glue is now going to squeeze up around the sides anyway. Luckily that hole that I drilled is pretty much a perfect fit circular wise, whether it be through skill or chance or luck. Some of that green stuff squirted out the end as well, which is good because then I can push that down over the top back end here. So get that in, make sure that's in, and just then use the end of this round thing just to mould that green stuff just around the edge so there's not a bump that's stopping you anything else getting in there, like your magnets and that from the other way. So that's in there, perfect fit, like that. And then we do the same the other way. So some green stuff. Actually, this one I could probably use a bit more. Let's see how, I think this recessed in almost free, didn't it? So yeah. So I can put a bit more of a lump in here. Like that. Get that in there like that. Whack in some super glue. And if this then the green stuff is too much and then it squirts out of the edge, you can just cut it off. You can do it straight away or just wait for it to dry and just shave it off. So I get the polarization, so that's going in that way now. So take 2 off the end. And push that in there. And then just get that straight. And again, by chance, skill or luck, it's a perfect hole fit. Pretty much perfect. That's where it goes for you when you're drilling. You stop. You just keep stopping and starting your drill to see where you need the hole to go. So we'll leave that. Just take off some of the excess glue. There's a little bit of extra mould, bumpy mould there. I'm just going to shave off, just to make sure, just to be reassured. But be careful you don't pull the magnets out. That pulled straight in, and that was really powerful. That sucked it in. So that's a perfect fit. So that's that. That's the magnetising that side. we'll work the other side out. So we've got magnets flying all over the place here now. So we've got the waist magnetised, but there's a bit of blue tack there, so that's not going to fit perfectly in a minute, that blue tack to hold the gun. So that's going to be like that. And you've got this magnetised, which will fit either side eventually. And then there's no other magnets that are going to go on this, it's just the arms now. The top doesn't need magnetising. These guns are not magnetised, I'm gluing. And I think actually now, eventually after doing a little bit of a score, that's pretty solid, that gun. Yep, that ain't going nowhere. So we can get this blue tack off and get the gun on. I could just leave that blue tack there for a minute, but we'll get the gun on the other side. The cog's actually a bit skew-whiff actually. I don't know if that's been knocked, but we just, let's just pull him back out, that's fine. So let's get the gun on the other side, the gun breech and the gun glued on. Let's do that quickly. So we'll find our gun breech. There's the gun barrel. Where's the gun breech? Oh, still on the bit of sprue. Okay. Enough. So that's your little structural thing here, but I'm just going to take that off because there's a bolt behind it. I just want to show the bolt rather than that. Don't know if it's supposed to be there or not, but it's just a tiny little V of resin. I love this show and tell the Next Level Painting does. You see people's work, it's great. At all different kinds of levels. Everyone's got to start somewhere. I'm always looking to improve, always. Because I'm kind of a perfectionist, but nothing I do is perfect, so it's kind of torments you. But you can't be like that. You've got to just be happy, because or else it will literally drive you crazy. Okay, so this is going to go on. This is going to go on here. Go on there like that. So it's just whack a bit of glue. Let's actually scratch it up this time, because there's a bit of a surface there for me to score. Let's do it on this as well. And then yeah, it glues to the body, doesn't it? Yeah, that's it. I'm stuck, fingers glued to it. So it's going to go there like that. I feel like we might need some blue tack though. Again, I think I might have the same situation on this side. Let's whack in the glue into that. Actually, God, I put loads of glue in there. That's too much, but it's okay. I need blue tack, it's not gonna. Oh, come on. Just going to put a bit across the top just to like a and then the barrel falls off. Awesome. So just to keep that up. Okay, so that's that. I think we can get some claws onto the weapon, back to the weapon now. Let's just pop that in there. See what that's like. Gun's looking okay, it's back to front, but doesn't matter. Back around, okay. Just checking the barrels are kind of, you don't want them pointing to the floor or shooting up into the sky. I know obviously you can shoot things in the sky and you can shoot things close enough on the floor, but model wise I want it looking right, so that's okay. So we're rocking and rolling now, we are flying. So apart from the time it's going to take, actually I really want to do the other drill and get that, just a bit of green stuff, that matter of fact gets thrown away. So that's solid, that's not moving, that's glued. So let's get these two on. I've got a feeling I might have to do one at a time though. Looking at the angle of the nails on it at the front, actually I want that to go on that side, so let's put the glue on that side. Let's see what this one's like. Yeah. Don't think I could get away, no, I'm not going to get away with doing two at once. Oh, which one was which? That one, okay. It's got a bit of... how am I going to get this bit to stay? This bit will stay balanced like the other one. It's frustrating. Okay. Okay, this really doesn't want to, just doesn't want to play ball. I'm wondering maybe if I leave these two off to paint, because to get in this inside and they're together and they're both on there, it's going to be, yeah, I can leave one off. Okay, yeah, that's going to be a pain. Can't pin it. Could, but I'm not going to. Or should I? Could use this drill bit. That'll go into there. But that's going to be tight going into there. Do you know what? I'm going to pin it. Let's give it a go. I've got a bit of brass rod that I can trim up. Let's get this one off. Wrong way. This is going to be tricky, so it will take patience. It's really these little tools, things like this, really make your hobbying a lot easier. You can get better results. The problem is, what I'm going to do is to get into there, so what I'll do is cut the nodule bit off, because else it might just shoot my drill off. So it's down to the flat surface, like that. And then, patiently and slowly, let's drill the hole in here first, because that doesn't matter. Just clean it off, because I had super glue in there. I don't want it now gluing the resin dust and filling up my grooves on my drill, which it has done a bit already, but we can get that out. Okay, so we'll do the hole on the other one. That, and then this is where, this is a bit here now is where we've got to go slow. So I just touched it, just so I can just see where I need to be. And then, because this seems to get faster and faster the longer it's on, so I'm going to keep turning this off and on. Don't need to go in far. I'm going to go a little bit further. I'm only in maybe 2 mil. Probably about 4 mil. And then find some brass rod, which I saw just now, and little bits of stuff in it. Come on, I see ya, just got to be able to grab you. Yeah. Okay, so brass rod. That's a tight fit. That'll go in there like that. And then we'll get this. Let's check the holes on this. I might need to put a bit more in there. Okay, get the drill out of the way. More dust that we just cleaned up, but that's okay. And then that will go in. Yeah, so we cut it about, don't need much, about there, maybe less, just a tiny bit, just like that. Okay, there, and then come from this side. So we just got our own little nodule for it to fit. I could have probably gone a bit further with the rod. I can always pull this bit out and do it again. So let's do it again. That's on tight, that's on really tight, so let's cut it a bit more. So it's better I guess to cut more, because you can just trim it down. So if I go to about there, that way and then that way, to get a flatter edge, go from one side or the other side, or you end up with a, don't know if you'll be able to see that, focusing, you end up with like a spike if you don't. If you do it one way then the other way, you end up with a flatter end. Pro tips. So then that goes in there, sweet. Could have even gone a bit longer, and there you go. It's just holding it in there now. So that's going to make that gluing much easier. So let's get the hole. We didn't drill the other claw, did we? Where's that gone? Where's the claw? draw this one, so let's cut that nodule off. I feel like I need another drink. Cup of tea, coffee or something. So let's drill this one now. Look at this up plate. So you've got to be careful, you're going down this chunkier bit at the back and not through the blade, and you don't come out the sides, so you've got to make sure it's straight and going in. So let's get a bit of rod into that. You can actually glue the rod in, but I'm not going to. Oh, that's a tight fit. Get that in there. Push it down. Job done. And that will go in. It'll go in about that far, so if let's cut this off there. Bosh. Like that, and then that one like that. Don't know whether to have it slightly splayed open. Let's see, how have they got it done? No, they don't have theirs splayed open. Do it like that, slightly open, because that middle claw is going to come down the middle. So like that, so let's get a bit of glue on them. Splayed open slightly, I might be able to glue them in. Just going to blow the dust out so the glue doesn't just... Let's get the brush in there a bit. Let's get the glue in there now. Sometimes you've got to go to a slightly next level of modelling and use your pinning techniques, and so that's where, like I said, it's handy to know which one was which side. Okay, that one was that side, yeah. Where get that right in deep into there. Where, yeah, like I said, you know, your next kind of level of skills comes in. Where's that going like that? It's at different levels. That's where the holes are. It's supposed to be like that. But on the picture down there, it's not. That's where the holes are. But that's okay. It wasn't like that just now. Did I not have it? Oh, I had it the other way around, didn't I? Oh no, it's left the rod in there. I think. Feels solid. Those pins make it feel really solid. Push it in. That's better. I can splay them slightly because that middle one needs to come down and go in between the back here. But I didn't see. There's a seam line down the back. We'll wait for these to glue and go solid, and then we'll scrape down that seam line. Plus to open slightly. So there's the beast of a claw, the ripper claw. So then that, we're all looking, that goes on to there. We'll work out which kind of angle we want that once we get this part the shoulder and the pistons sorted. Okay, dust. Can't stand the dust. So I moved it now. I needed more glue on that. I might need a bit longer pin actually. So to see the length of that pin, let's go a little bit longer to about there. This time let's get some glue in both ends. Could be too long a pin now, so we'll find out. Yep. Trim it off. If I can get that one out of the way a bit. Okay, let's get it at a funny angle. Let's just get this one off a sec. Boom. That is in. It's probably been pushing that rod a bit further in past where I drilled it now as well. Split it open just slightly. That actually feels even solider now. I did have a slight point to the end, but that's pushed it further in. I can actually get brushwork in there anyway for the blades, that's fine. Okay. So I should have cleaned the seam line up, but I can do that. We'll just leave it for now. Let's get this part sorted. Dish, dish, dish. And bits everywhere here now. Okay, instructions. The bars are solid now in there for the pistons. So this is now where the pistons will come into. Goes that way. So now this is where the pistons are going to dictate this angle. Quite an angle up to there, like that. Let's just get the glue in there. We'll get the glue in on the. So we'll glue in here, glue around this, and then we'll stick a bit of glue into here. We'll get that piston in. So I'll stick my fingers to it. Just like that. Again, that piston just doesn't want to sit there because the glue isn't grabbing it straight away. And then we had another piston somewhere. A little tiny, probably when I used my airbrush I've probably blown it somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So we had this little one which went somewhere. Goes on the back. Oh, I see. Right. So it goes into the. Well, drop the piston out then, but we'll get this one two glued in. A bit more glue in there. Be careful you don't use too much glue. It's very easy to get caught out. Just whacking on too much. I've probably got a bit too much here now, but this glue is kind of going a bit crazy. Sticking to my fingers but not the model. Just being a little bit awkward. No, it's stuck into my thumb. Oh, come on, stop sticking to my thumb. Oh, God. Annoying. That piston at the back here is probably the worst one of them all. They've cut a groove in one end to go onto the pipe, but it doesn't match the angle of the cross bit that they've put on there. Where did that bit go? Thumb stuck to it. Oh, that's frustrating. What I might have to do is leave that little one off and just get this one done first. Right. So how am I going to put this? Just prop it up against something. Like that, leave that to glue, dry. So then we're pretty much down to the stage now, almost where we're at the point of painting now. I want to straighten out this pipe, exhaust pipe. We've got the pins, don't lose the pins. We've got these, we're going to glue these on now, the feet. And then we're down to ready to prime, pretty much. Got the bullets there that are a nightmare because they snapped in half to go into the gun barrels, and we need to get these shins glued on. So get rid of that instruction and go back to the other also helpful instructions for awesomeness over here. And work out so which foot is which. Yeah, so it goes onto that one. So it goes onto this one. So score this up. We tried gluing this before and it didn't stick. We kind of made a bit of a hash of it, to be fair. So this is going to go in here. Get these bits of pipe. Just going to just cut just the end of that off. Okay, yeah, let's get the glue down, let's get this bit on. It's not going to affect our painting too much. So we'll leave that one to dry off. And then the other one. clean up because there's some dried up super glue on there from our earlier attempts. I've got 2 other weapons to go yet to put together, so that's going to go. Doesn't really fit very well. I'm sure I've got these right. Yeah. Okay. Let's get that glued in. Whoa. It's just not very flush, it's just not going on very flush. I'll just leave that then. So that's his feet. I mean, this guy's huge compared to a Leviathan. Okay, there's pinning, that's solid. Could have probably done it on the big claw, but that one went on not too bad if it ever does snap off. Oh no, so that's that. So what we'll do now is that's pretty much dried up. Let's get this back on here, see how that fits. So that's pretty strong. It's got a lot of weight to take on it, so we'll find out when this obviously all gets assembled how it handles that. Gluing this shoulder pad on here is going to be hard, a bit of a pain. Let's try and do that now actually. It goes in there, right there. That bit onto there. I wonder if that will sit upright and I can leave it dry off. Nope. I don't want to put any blue tack there, but I'm going to wedge it between 2 other pieces of the model. Let's leave that. Okay, so that's that, guys. Thanks for watching this one. I know it's been a long one again, but they're all pretty long. What we're going to do now is we're going to off camera I'll finish drilling that and get the magnets in there so I can use up this last bit of green stuff. May as well, and then I shall be back. We'll prime it and we'll start the painting process. We'll do a couple of videos for the other weapons put together. Maybe I'll just put them together and we'll crack on. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, all that jargon. Get me a viewer base up as fast as possible. I much appreciate it. Thanks very much, guys. Catch you in the next one.